Okay, so in the previous class, what we did is we had a VS Code and then VS Code. So what we did is we tried to have our code here. Mm, yeah. So there's a bunch of code that we have to deploy to our GitHub. So just moving this all stuff to our repository. So whatever the project that which we created here, so I just try to push to code repositories. So if I just go check here, there's no changes. There was a Git account here which has a pull or push request behind. So I just given some hints that what we have to follow. So basically, you have to have a project kept ready, extracted all the stuff, and then you have to sign into a GitHub. So for example, this is my GitHub. I have signed in GitHub repository. Suppose that what happened is, so I don't know whether still open. Okay, so let me close all this and open the stuff. This is a link where we have to just do it up. Um, Working with Visual Force. So this link I've pasted in the code. How do we do a setup that I've mentioned? Um, Firstly, you have to get install this extension to your VS Code. Git pull request and issues extension. Suppose this you log in, so you'll get to know what contents are there. But having Git repository is something that you have to connect with system so that you can push the code that whichever you wanted it. So let me close this on and then open up here only. GitHub. So I just go to MCD dev, that has a master branch, and then the task 201. So what all this indicates is, so we push the code here firstly, and so something like this. You logged in and you push the code. First, you have to have this VS Code extension for the Git, and then you're trying to prepare the data, and then you're saying, okay, initialize, and then push the content to uh, the, the targeted arc. So I've mentioned the steps here. Also, I've put in Google Drive. So there's a link we have for Google Drive. So this first you have to have a project pulled in your MCD and reference. This is the org where so link where you go and configure extension. Just click on the extension, it will install, and this is the reference which I given here. So you need to have a GitHub account for this. So you have to generate token. So in the video, it has been very clearly saying. So where do you go generate the token is? So if you have a user here, and then so in the settings, I think you have to go and generate the token. So the token is not been used because if too many things you are having it tokens, so then you have to generate new one. So if there's just a fresh org that you're going to create for the GitHub, so you not to be worried about because I create multiple tokens. So then for this particular org, for this development, I have to create a token. So so I had to generate the full token and given access to it. So in VS Code, just you have to sign in with Git. So nothing but you're giving it the same credentials and you're authorizing and allowing them. And so then it asks you to would you like to create a repository. So what about the dev org that which I created in the local, for example, in the VS Code, the org name itself is given as mcd dev-git. So do you want to make this as a repository? It asked me a question. So I said yes. So that's the reason mcd dev-git. So whatever the project name it has created for me. And it asked me like this many bunch of codes you have. Do you want it to deploy all this? Okay, yes, I said. So then it deploy the stuff there. So retrieve your project source. Again, what to do is so the moment you try to go to package.xml. Yeah, going to the package.xml and right click the retrieve resource if you do. So whatever the changes in your server, Salesforce or as it ever, so it'll come here and say, hey, these are the changes that you have. So you have to click them. So you have to stage and then push it to a repository. So in the video, it's actually very clear. So if you just look at one time, you'll be like able to get everything. So the content has been at the very beginning, it will be mastered. So then what it is, I created a sub branch, like say something task one, we are doing a task two, something we're doing. So this could be all the stories that we, bunch of stories that we can work on for the release. So master can have again a bunch of releases, and under there also they can have a bunch of again sub releases they can have. However, you try to merge to one of the above guy, and then finally it goes to merge to master. So why I given this example is you work on some task and then task is done. Someone the code review and then they approved it. It is migrated. Also, it is pushed to or merged with the master. So like yesterday, so we went and merged few things. So for example, look at this. So this all was the first commit which we did at the very beginning stated. So this task to the known has been changes, been pushed. So that indicates okay, some changes we have been made to the particular folder. We're called classes. See, so deploy to master is all by the beginning. So this is the command that we give it at the very beginning. So likewise, when I picked at the very beginning, push at the very moment, it says first commit. So I didn't have anything, single source code. What are the basic context I didn't have. Without pulling the project, I just pushed it out. So this is a fresh org which I created here, which you see here in the project. This is yesterday only I created this project because the previous one I had with the login issue something I had, so I have to create a new project. So while creating new project, I didn't have any content here. I didn't retrieve the source, but I connected with the Git and then I pushed it. That was the first commit which I did it. So that's the reason you have all this first commit. So then after retrieving from the package.xml, I went on. So we have a bunch of stuff, right? So then while deploying, I went as deploy to master. So first initial code I pushed to the deploy to master only. So how did I do is so array which I didn't have, I went to the package XML and retrieved it. So it showed me here, hey, these many changes you have in your R. I did all stage. Stage means you wanted all these components to be added to the master. Okay, so you say yes, and then I put a comment here called deploy to master, and then I clicked on commit. So that way the codes are been updated here. So the message is here, and you can see the bunch of classes got updated. So for example, yesterday I was doing only for this particular class. Let's say you have a task got for this only for this Apex class. So you're doing it in your local. So what happened? So you're trying to do an activity, some changes you did, and then you're pushing only for this. So then I said task 201 change push. So this is the latest one. So you can see history of this, and then you can go back. You can see the last version of it. So something they had just system.debug hello. So but this time I just post as the first last latest one we have post. Something with the change in okay integer I equal to 10. So this is a new code which I made. Thinking that okay, there's a new logic which we have placed it. And then so if your review has been there, so you will comment that please remove the system debugging epic classes. Then you mark as resolved. So then after that you're going to close the statement. So then if the reviewer has been verified, then he will approve the stuff. So then you can go and merge your task. So this indicates that the changes whatever you have been done, so it has been merged with master. It indicates that. So any questions? So this is the subtask which we've been created today, and the subtask had uh, so every time what it does is it just clones the content of master, and then you're working on those pieces. So for example, if you see task, let's say master has the same type of a code, and then again your latest small change only you have made for the task 201, even you see the whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, they try to create the replicate or the clone copy of master, and then you try to fix something, and then you try to merge it. So whichever is going to merge, so they can't go individually small file, they can merge it, right? The whole bunch of the folders, whatever the changes you made, the whole thing is merged to a master. So like that, you can have a bunch of them. So there are a lot of things otherwise. Sid was explaining how do you deploy, how do you deploy the changes. So all this they've explained here. So it shows a deployment model and the project how to do it. So these are simple things they've did, but so when you get into our actual project, they will have an administrator. They will explain you about this. But at least this basic knowledge we need to have for the in term of how to push to Git repository. So first thing is you need to have a login credentials for the Git, and then your VS Code and the Git has been connected, so it will know that where to do it. So any changes that you do it will ask you, do you want to push to this particular R? So that way I have a task, a masters, you can see here. So this is master version, which will have all the masters related records or context. And then I can switch back to task and then I can work on it. So basically they say git checkout of the particular branch name. So these are the multiple branches that we have. So any questions here, Murthy?
No, good. So when we do a deploy, it will be like a jar file or something when you're deploying to a servers or something like that.
So we don't have a jar file concept here. Um,
Uh-huh.
so it's just like, see, one thing we can do is automations of deployment. So like CI/CD, we have continuous integration, continuous development and deployment.
Uh-huh.
So what all it indicates is just like you are working with some stuff, but from the development or to the set of org where the UAT you want to do it.
Uh-huh.
So we can have a process. The process will try to deploy the stuff. Now we are doing a code in the VS Code. Now we are putting it to Git repository, and the Git
Okay.
repository it will validate this stuff, and you can deploy from the Git also. Once the development of code or whatever the changes that you did, someone has approved it. So from there only you can deploy the code. So you're trying to deploy a code to a test org, some random test org you would have. So you're trying to deploy there and you're trying to validate them whether that particular snippet should work there or not.
Okay.
That works there. Okay, the same context will go for the original org also. Why we have test org is just for trial. Okay, your code is working there, fine. The same context again you can move to UAT dev. So what are the cycle that you have been pointed there? For example, you have test, the next is SSIT, and the next would be UAT, and then the production. So to go one by one cycle, so you basically test the initial code with the test org. So like how another SIT UAT you have, like that one org would be there for specifically for testing. So you test there, and then it says validated successfully, and it can be deployed. In the same the logic whatever you've been pushed it right. Now you're gonna map it to okay, move this to SIT. So from there to another connections you create, and then you can deploy there. Sometimes you can automate. Uh, Git has such features that's a paid version. It all depends on the org everyone we are holding it. So from VS Code to Git, from Git to test, from test approved automatically it goes to UAT, sorry, to SIT, and again one more approval if you do it, it'll again go to UAT. If again another approval happens with along with the test something we have, so it can go to production. So these are the pipeline they will have it. So this way one way of development, I mean deployment. There are multiple tools like Flowsum also we have. Flosum is a third party tool. Like you have to go purchase with those guys and you have to do with them. So they what they do is they ask your login credentials of your dev again the login credential of your target log. So now any change that you want to push, they will easily notify saying that okay. So this is the first thing that you're going to push, and this is the second thing you're going to push. It will be has 100% the same concept of Git only, because they say that okay, this initial branch, and you have all the components. Now we want to merge to a master, and this merge master need to be pushed to a UOTR production. It will be absolutely the same as the Git, but they are like a point click tool we have. Whereas this, the ones we have to do a configuration properly for from a Git, because so Git they have also have a deployment stuff. So currently this is a what do you say a free developer type of a GitHub. So if it is a paid version, so we'll have a deployments things also here. And in that you can have a connections from your dev to next or what you have to do next process for deployment to respective works. Out of this, nothing you know, if you just simply flatly develop a code, then you have a chain set to do the stuff. Um, so if you guys wanted to practice how the chain set works, so then so you can have a what is it demo org. So demo org will surely have the chain sets. So you have to sign up for some demo org. In the demo org, you'll have an option called chain set. In the chain set, what happens is you can add the component as many, and then you can push to target org. For example, we created a package some time back. In the package, we tried to add the as many components, and then we upload the package. So later on, it gave me one link, and that link can be pasted across any org, and I can what do you say, install the package. The same way here, it just like for other people, it is like a package or something it does. But Salesforce does a deployment using a metadata XML files. For other terms or Java people, they would tell us it is a jar file. So, but we say it as an XML files. So that would be metadata files. Would be content of all the classes, programs, each and every. It will be holding a data for data, like what it is. It high level the name of the file, and under that there will be content. So name of the file itself a data, and they have their own content. So it's a data of data. We'll have it. So that's what we said is a metadata. An XML file will have it. For you, it will not be visible from the background. Everything is moved as an XML file. One place from the place when you want to travel. So with the XML file only, they will all communicate. For example, here, so every component that you build has an XML files. For example, lastly, we have built LWC components. Um, so something like LDS create record you did. So then they have the XML file. So an XML file, what it indicates, so which component and which version they are. So what type of targets they follow. So this XML indicates, okay, this along with this component, how do I push it? This is what helping. This XML file is what helping this for a deployment. Without this, we can't deploy it. So if you have HTML or JS file, you can't deploy this stuff. Without XML, you can't do it. So only Salesforce have every component that you create will have an XML associated to it. For example, object we have and retrieve the object. Static resource, yeah. Okay, the Salesforce has given this CSS. SLDS they have given it. For application, I think we have just only brought the Aura. Aura. So you have the meta file. Look at this meta file. It's Lightning component bundle. So likewise, anything you do it, for example, Apex class also you see it here. Every Apex class they will have XML file. So that's how we just move around. So if you say any deployment that we are doing it via through UI, so you will not see any of these XML files, but you see in the UI they are moving around. So moving around the component name front the front end and the background they are moving with the XML files. So there's another option in change set, like I said, like you can add a component as like how we did a package XML. Sorry, how did you manage the package to create and then open to install for the people. The same way, change it also, you're trying to add a component, but you're not creating any link to deploy somewhere, but you're trying to choose or from a dev to SIT, from a SIT to UAT, how do you want to go to which target how to go. So you are designing in change set. The basic thing is you're creating a change set name, adding all the components and uploading the change set. While uploading the change set, it asks you a question where you wanted to upload it. So you say, SIT. So where this connection is basically in setup. In production, you set up saying that, okay, deployment connection from dev to, in one way, it can go to SIT. From SIT, you cannot come back to dev. That's a one-way communications that you've been set there. If really you set two-way, so from SIT also you can come back to dev. From dev also you can go to SIT. It all depends on us that what we set. So one-way connection from dev to SIT. And one more connection you're going to create from SIT to UAT, and one more connection you're going to create from UAT to production. So these three different connections that you create. So the moment you try to upload, it receives to other people. So you send from outbound, so they receive an inbound change. Inbound is just the link that we have. So there you receive it, and then you try to click on them and validate them. Okay, all the components have worked successful. Then you click on deploy. Now, whatever the components you send from the dev or all would be placed in your SIT or the next hour. So that is one set of deployment that you guys do it. So deployment using chain set or deployment using Git or through some flowsums that whatever the external tool they have. All they're trying to do. So chain set and the flowsum both are like UI stuff. You not see any XML files or your content of it data also you cannot see it. We know it's a file and that is moving move around from one place to another place. That's all we do. But otherwise in Git you will get to know, okay, these are the list of components. Okay, these are the repository that we have, and then we are pushing it. The good part of this is they are having a versioning. So I showed you some history of the file, right? For ABC class. I can go to each and every class. I can see what is my previous history. And also you can do what are the changes that you made recently. Only that you can push. So this is recently in 2021 for Salesforce Rise, they're saying about source tracking. So what changes that you're pushing it, only those things I'll do a change and then push it. I don't want to push the whole bunch of again the code to each and every time to a production or to a different R. So only the changes that whatever for the development we made, and it asks that, okay, do you want to push all this? Then you say yes, and then it will push all. So those things is called as source tracking. Does it make sense, Murthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So generally, like a package, what we say that as in a jar file. So we say in a different concept, but ideally they are all having in XML files only. Even the jar files, they will have some versions of a components to component linking. They'll also have a classes and then other elements of the program, whatever that you use it. So they are also having the same type of logic there. But we name it here as a packages. We move with its meta files. Okay, so that I was doing. And then you can see this what are the changes that we did. So if you just refer to the last class, I think all this you have to try, guys, because for the GitHub you have to do a configurations, and then it should be made sure that how do you push it and then retrieve the components, and something you electrically modify the changes. All this you have to practice with, because the next project when you go for development, people for surely they will have some repositories to be connected with. If there's something like using a flow somewhere point like you have, so then you need to worry about all this stuff. But the good knowledge is that which you have is always required. Even the flow sim also they're trying to cut a branch, sub branch, and then merge with the master. All the same logic they have. So, but to have one type of spend some an hour to investigate on this, and then how do you configure your local code to your local repository? So you can have your own GitHub account. You can configure the same. And if you have any issues, you can always ping me about that, because repository is one of the very important in terms of development. Okay, so the other topic today which I wanted to cover is about the CPQ, which is a little vast, and then it's very important to understand how do you do cache, price, and code. Um, so what is the CPQ indicates? Do you know why the necessity of CPQ we have? So like any general idea you have, guys? What is CPQ?
I think I have an idea because in B2C company do like laptop configuration, right?
Yeah,
We configure with I need this hard disk, I need this memory, I need this monitor, kind of configure and get the code, right?
exactly. So basically, CPQ indicates that we are doing a cache, price, and code stuff. So configure basically it indicates the well before you are trying to do something presentations. So you try to do a configurations like a kind of a bundle. Like as you said, so I want to do for laptops or printers. So of course, this laptop and printers are you look at it, looks like an independent component for products or independent products, but actually they can be clubbed with one or more bundles. Um, how do I say this is because uh, just you want to buy a laptop, so you wanted to have something like extensions to be added. Let's say the laptop that which you bring is a 4 GB RAM. So, but 4 GB RAM is not suffice to you. But you want to make 16 GB RAM to your laptop. So then what you do is you select additional RAM there, and then other like mouse or keypads associated with the laptop that whatever you wanted to have. So the whole thing we say it as a bundle. These are additional products you can add to it, or simply only for the laptop that you want, but you wanted to make few additional configurations. But you can choose few products along with that, or the products which you choose they come along with 5 to 10 options within the product. So it depends all about the products that what you're going to create. It should be one product or a product bundle. So the bundle indicates the collection of products within the item that what we choose one. So that is something that we have to configure onto the C. And P is for price where we indicate, so each the products that you've been configured and you've chosen the products also, and we have to define the price for it. So define the price in the sense, okay, for laptop this is this much, but if I wanted to take additional RAMs and other stuff, okay, this is an additional amount. This is this. So if you all buy along with this, then you get a discounted price. I think the best example if you go to any Amazon website, so you also would see a bundle there. Uh, Amazon.in. Let me just jump in. So I just go here. Okay, let's say what to say this. So there's a bunch of products. Okay, so let's say for window AC, I'm going to do it a window AC. So I don't know, I'm just randomly checking this. LG. So if you have this product and then if you come down, look at this frequently brought together. So this is one product. Along with this, they're asking to add this, add both to cart. So these recommendations for the both to add. So it's actually they're trying to make as a bundle, then set it together. It's your wish to have one single component and then to go with, but you can also have a combinations of one or more, like recommendations you can have, and then making them to a bundle type. Or the moment you try to buy one single product, they will also have a few features along will get with this. So this is the normal what is it? Uh, what is this? AC. Okay, this is the AC, which is window AC we have. So you're just buying this, but it'll also you're getting while you're getting the product, you may get a wires and then small inverters. So they all come along with the products. So while you're choosing a product of this, so the company has to make sure that they're gonna give a bundle to you, which is along with their charger or additional inverters, cables. So even individually, if you think they also are products, right? Because they also get separately also. If you just want to buy only the inverter, you can get separately. But when the very beginning you buy, so all taking a bundle to you. So this is what indicates a bundle and holding each and everything you wanted to connect a price for it, you can do it. When people extending features of let's say a 4 GB RAM by default, I wanted to extend to 16 GB. So there only can give a price for it. So the moment I change the RAM, so my price in the cart would be keep changing it. So that is how it is. Now let's say you are trying to buy for 100 PCs for your whole office. So then I need to ask a quotation for these people because I don't know. For 100 people, if I ask a question quotations with different company, then different price would be there. Let's say all I want to have Dell configuration species for 100 people. Okay, so 100 units are required, 100 pieces are required for me. So they're gonna give a share me quotations where I want a slight negotiations of the price. So then you need to have the code to be generated first for you, because always we talk on the proof. The code is something that the proof we have. If I just communicate with the oral, so people will not understand what I said yesterday and what I'm saying today. There will be a slight change in the variations of talk that we do it because we tend to make mistake because we cannot put uh, as many numbers of people in a day or two. So business are just like that. If you have different phone call conversations, we tend to forget the numbers. So that's the reason they want to get into proof. So code, the meaning of the code itself, it says that I want to have some proof. Either you give a PDF or an email, something that which we are negotiating or we're connecting with. We wanted to establish a price and then share with you. So that the code that version one which I presented to you, so you may not be satisfied. Okay, let's go with version two. So we have as many versions. Why? Because all this indicates, yeah, of course, they have to be agreed with the code that you also should be okay with that, and also from the company point perspective, so we say that the transparent process happens. So transparent process indicates what products, how much price, and this is the thing that you, along with the tax, this you have to pay for it, and this is the shipment details, and this is for taxes like some countries have GST, some all this would indicate, and then finally they will present the price there. So if this sort of things has been there, it will be having no hidden charges. So that's the reason people like the code. It has all the informations, no hidden charges. So this all this indicates all this will be trying to the CPQ stuff. So few good examples you have is always onto the online e-commerce portals will have much of them. So one of the examples always you can see in Amazon or any website, the well-known websites, you'll see always the bundle being presented everywhere. So few recommendations you can have. See, while talking about the Windows PCs, they're talking about the split ACs. So compare and check the other products that they do it. All this basically, this all can be configured in the CPQs. That's the thing I'm saying it to you guys. So you try to add to a cart and then you are doing some prices variations, all that you do, right? So before going to the cart, we can have the price. Anyway, the configure all the products have been done at the backend admin guys. They've done it. Even the price has also been defined there, and then code. So why we don't match with the CPQ to Amazon is, so it is not a B2C. Sometimes it will be B2B also. So B2B, when it indicates it is trying to give a quotation to the people. When it is B2C, they don't do that quotation and all here, but they rather they show the price in the cart, how much it is. Slight variations in the presenting to you. So they don't give, Amazon doesn't give a PDF like how much the price would be. but instantly whatever the product that you add, I would show where. So I would show in the cart. So what is the whole amount that you're going to have it? So after charging, how much it will be? So in your checkout, you can see them the prices. But whereas a CPQ generally it will be B2B majority of scenarios. In the B2Bs, you can get a quotations for it. You can have a printed PDF saying that okay, how much is I wanted to buy, because you're ordering for the stuff, you require a quote for it. So anyone who want to buy a car, or anyone to buy at least a basic bike, so first we have to ask quotations for what are the things that you charge. So what is going to cover, like bumper to bumper, what is going to cover, and if I want to buy a bike, so what are the additional tools that you're going to provide with me? So accessories basically called as. So these are the things that which would fall under the real-time examples of your CPQ concepts. So so since already you known about CPQ basic things, is it make sense? Remember things of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, in order to get some CPQ and play with that, we need to have we have to go to an app exchange. We have to get this. So what this is a product which is being given by Salesforce, and so they indicate by Salesforce Labs. That means they've given free for us to learn the stuff. So I would recommend you to install this CPQ app and then play with this. And there's not any charges that we hold. I mean, Salesforce provides. When it indicates a Salesforce lab, you can assume that it's always free for you because they allow you to learn for it, and then you can play with it. Okay, now are these CPQ has been used by every companies when they say Salesforce CPQ? They say not really. Salesforce CPQ has been retired now. All they have moved to Salesforce Steel Bricks. What do you call the Steel Bricks? The recent acquisition happened by some Salesforce to Steel Brick. Maybe not now. At least 2 years would happen. Um, Salesforce they themselves built a CPQ. So that is what is this. And for this compared to Steel Brick, there is not much big difference we have. All the logic and other stuff are the same. So nothing much change. But since they have acquired a product, uh, product company, so they recommend that the Steel Bricks to be taken part. So what do you there in the Steel Brick if you see the basic fundamentals of what sales with CPQ is already done. It is already there. So before getting to CPQ also, we already saw in Sales Cloud. The Sales Cloud we have how to configure the products for an opportunity. How do you have a product discount for it, and then how do you generate a code? In the code you can have discount, and then finally you present a PDF to your customer. So all this would be part of your opportunity. Still in Sales Cloud, by default they have the CPQ stuff. So this is the from a Sales Cloud is a bigger piece. One piece they have been dragged out and then said their name as CPQ. So which we I will be focusing only on my products and the pricing and then discount stuff, and I give quotation to the customer. So this is only piece which I want. I will handle only the stress there. I don't want it to move around. So that's the reason of a CPQ bound there, where bundles of products we have to deal, and then how do you present, how do you give a discount. For this only they moved a separate topic called CPQ. Otherwise, it is already be there in the Sales Cloud as a basic piece you can understand. But when they specifically they have talked about the CPQ, they've invented more few things which made life easier for the people. So now CPQ you have to install for sure. And how to do it? First, you have to have this app exchange, and then please log into the trailer with the credentials that you have it. Uh, for example, this I have the old one, so which I tried to log into this app exchange. But the org which I'm dealing here is not the same org which I've logged into here. So this is my personal org, but this is a training org we have it. It's okay. So I'm gonna say create now. So just log in and then search for Salesforce CPQ. So you'll get this. So at the very beginning, they will ask you, um, just provide the access who you wanted to have. So they may ask you the questions because they allow you to move to the next. So I'm gonna give my name. Um, so I'm giving a personal name here. So I would say some. Oh, and then app exchange product there is still available to us. Okay, one thing, sorry for this. Let me just see any demo Salesforce CPQ app. Okay, sign up trailer playground with the CPQ unit. Yeah, let's do this. Only for the learning purpose of the game. Okay, fine. Um, sign up for trailer playground with Salesforce CPQ learning objects. Okay, so we'll just go the trailer and then understand this stuff. So before that, I will copy this to the here. If you don't have a package to be getting installed, at least via through this will go and then understand that how it works. Sometime back we had a package to go install all the stuff we had. Mm. So if you say, how do you do this? Salesforce CPQ package installation. See install CPQ package, they have it. Let me try once. If that doesn't work out, we'll just jump into the trailers and then to look at there. Pre-installation, enable email delivery. Hmm. Hmm. So this. So what it is, I just went on there and then clicked on the CPQ steel bricks link. Okay, fine. So then, because now the Salesforce CPQ would be a Salesforce steel bricks concept. Let's see if this is paid version. I don't know. So I got this link here, and then the moment I click on the link, it says install package. I could see here admin@mcd.com. And recently today I changed the password to training at 123. Right? It's now training at 1234. Just the four of the last. So I would log into this. So it is coming to the McDonald's and asking for installation. I say install for all users, and I say install here. So you can see a view components here. So part of the view components you can get to know. So what are the stuff that we have? I know it's having too much share. No, it's a quite many. 405 components we have. I don't know. To this component, the free org can accept this because we have memory of 5 MB. I don't know. So 405 create these many components. We have look at this. They have page layout. Everything that you look, few things will be changed here. Opportunity code, custom code. They're creating it. Um, column search, index, price. So all these are brand new component. So they will not impact our existing or unless we have this. So no impact onto this. So majority if you see they all would be created custom objects there or a custom component there. You not worry about. But surely they will have 400 plus components we have. Just to show for you guys how many components we have or what are generally the components is what we're trying to install. So we'll get to know at least if they are trying to override our existing features. So we'll get to know then you can okay if they say that okay they're overriding this XYZ feature. we can at least pause for some minutes and ask from them, will this have an impact to our existing org? If not, okay, then if you have a kernel good with the packages, then you can install them. Yes, you see. So what are these? If you see, these are the few API calls we have, and so few other SSL securities. They're adding it to trusted website. I'll tell you where to go add this trusted website. So all these links to be authenticated there. Only then the links would be allowed you to make a call to those guys. Like how we did it remote set settings. Apart from remote set setting, also we have something called as trusted websites. You have to enter there. If you are giving some random website who has some data which is secured there, so they don't allow you to access their links. So you should make from Salesforce they also trusted website links. Likewise, this is also a third party, some trusted websites we make it, and then we say grant yes. All these links are still built links we have. Look at these versions they have. 230 versions they have it. So that means how old the Steelbricks company would be. So they have these many releases and with the number of versions they are holding it. So if Salesforce want to acquire no, do an acquisition for this or acquire a company like Steelbricks, the company has to be well versed and then it should have done a lot of business and all the marketing stuff they think, and only then they do an acquire. But CPQ was very important to people like Salesforce existing CPQ was not people are not much using it. So their whatever out of the Salesforce product brand, what is the platform they used, says no kind of Steelbrick they used it, and then they developed, and that became famous. So Salesforce thought, why we want to reinvent the wheel, so let's acquire these Steelbrick guys. Yeah, so this app is taking too long. I accept it. I thought of like before coming to this class, I thought of installing this, but the problem is, so while just like on front of you, I thought of inserting is, I mean installing is, got some issues. So always doing a real time, let it be working or not working. So we'll help you out for sure. So done. So this would surely install at the background. So we can see that Steelbricks will install with us. So now I'll just click on this link, CPQ Salesforce installation. So this I'll copy. I know this is the install premium, but we are putting into a training or so what max we can do, we can test it out there and later on have to uninstall this package. That's okay. So recent release, what bugs they have, upcoming release, what they will have, and package links we have. So this is very important. I'll put to a chat window. So where you have to go. If you wanted to install this, then this is the way that you have to go. So choose the first one that we have, and I'll also put here in our chat window here. Always directly want to play with the CPQ stuff, then you can go directly with the trial products, and then you can have launch a new playground. It is already ready there, so you just have to go play there. So that is also one way to do it. Let's see. This installation really takes a lot of time. Then we have to get into such way. I think it's yet to come. It's okay. So let it come on its own pace. Let me not disturb that. Hmm. So if I say launch this, let's see. Let me check whether we have a CPQ stuff here. See, something like this. How sales you have something like something like that. We have a CPQ here, so it doesn't have it. Let me go here. Hmm. Developer edition with Salesforce CPQ. So we have to do a sign up work there. So they say CPQ trails. Specifically, have to do it here, I think. Hmm. It's okay. So then it is no more related to our MCD, but this would be new R to create with. So let's see one of the things is the package that what we install for the steel bricks. Hmm. This is all about the launch arc. It's a very long running package thing. No problem. We can do this also. So let me see MCD CPQ. Let's get into this as much as possible. So admin CPQ at mc.com. Otherwise, all things are same. Um, Sign me up here. So let's directly jump into some trail org and then we'll play there. So instead of doing all this setup and package stuff, but of course this we have to learn it. Why? Because you are existing all have there not be a separate org for CPU, there not be separate org for developer environment. All will be clubbed to one place. So that time you have to install the package and then have to play with. But here they're already giving you some CPQ trials and then you have to go jump there and then understand the stuff. So this is much more easier way. The 20 spam. I think this is all you have to go getting guys. To learn about more in depth of CPQ trails, you have to see for sure. Because here is how they are trying to show you the sales process, how it works, how did you configure, how did you cut the bundles, and then finally post all this, how do you try to generate the PDF, all the just giving explanations. Product rules. CPQ is not a simple topic, it's a very vast topic. Um, but at least getting on dirty checking in hands of how it works, that's something's okay. So this one guy I've been explained very well on to the CPQ. So this one, how are products to be configured. So he's giving very detailed video of this. I also saw them. This is how the Salesforce CPQ org would be established. And then looking at this video, he's just trying to go configure a computer and then see a lot of the products we have. And then how do we assign some price for it? So look at this. This is also like how Murthy was saying some. So Murthy, did you get a chance to there? Look at this. You're saying about computers and RAM stuff. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
So have you been to this link?
No, can you put the link in chat?
Yeah, this is absolutely like what you're saying is like configure the products. So what is a processor, what is a memory, what is the storage that you require, and they give an addition here, but we are so this I should get an email, but they're giving very good CPQ fundamentals here. So at the very beginning of the sales process, they're saying that what needs to be there because bundles can be categorized in multiple way: static bundle, a configurable bundle, and nested bundle. So bundle we know that's a collection of products we have. Static means what? Of course, you define one thing, and this is X Y A B C item that you have. Always it will be same. Configure means you're about to change few things based on the manual change or something. So nested bundle means you buy this along with this XYZ would be added to always to you. That is something nested bundle. Um, so we're just looking at this, you'll get to know a couple of them. So here only they given a good link to go directly log into the CPQ and then do the stuff. So always I say that go sign up for the newer. That's the reason I think we get this Salesforce CPQ here. I'll copy this link to you. This is a very good. Oh, okay, anyway, this admin trails we have it. Admin trails under that. So the first one is this.
Okay.
Okay,
Actually, I worked on this.
what is it?
I used to work for Sony. Sony, they have the laptop, right? We used to do
Oh, nice.
CPQ kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, here I was just seeing the video. This guy is explained very well.
It's the same thing concept.
Same
Like
concept.
laptops configurable.
Yeah, configuring the process and the experience. So how do you have a products? They should have an options, and then how they construct the bundles. So they have given a very good explanation here. And yeah, what are the change features you can have with user experience, which is good. I mean, this all you have to go with this trailer videos and you have to watch it. So there's no options you have. So enter the. I thought of entering the value and then showing you how it works, but this taking a lot of time. Yeah. So the package. Oh, this installed a package. So let's go to our MCD and check it's installed a package already there. Hmm. So there we go. That's it's for CPQ package. Sorry. So this doesn't expire. So good. Hmm. So but this indicates something. Steel bricks. We heard a name there. Hmm. Wait for objects and everything's ready here. So let's go quickly check in our MCD org only. So whenever you log in at MC admin.mcd.com and the password recently changes training at 1234. So say CPQ. Look at this, we got it here. So I thought I'll get an email for a new sign up or but already we got this stuff. CPQ. The whole bundle you got it? Okay, fine. So we have an accounts. Okay, there's an accounts, bunch of accounts we have. Let me check any codes examples we have. I think if you have a trail org there, so they have a bunch of data there. So all we have to create here now. No problem. Find snacks meals. Okay. See this error, right? It is coming from where? The steel bricks out of the CPQ installed, right? That has placed a component. Oh, these are our legacy components which is placed here. Hmm. Something is missing here. Okay. So new code. Okay, let's see. So this is generic PDF. We have it. Okay. But what's special about? Hmm. Shall we go with our CPQ org? So we'll have some demo data there. That's the reason I just was wishing for it. Um, trainer hyphen. So parser could be um, training. Training at 1 to 3 is the password. All right. So let me jump in quickly with the CPQ. So it's a CPQ here. So let's say some code share. They should have some dummy data. Look at this. Nice. So with the help of this trail logs, you can have this dummy data present there. Mm, on accounts. Okay. Opportunities. So let us open a laptop for front office. Just open this code and then see what they have. They have bunch of fields here. Like unless traditionally what we have in our Salesforce code, it's not the same. So I'll show that example also. Look at this. So if we go to details, so what in code you basically see is these are the fields that we see: code number, name, opportunity, status, draft, and the price structure, and then to whom we prepared for. So his address informations. Look at here. So code about the account, who is a rep, who is a primary contact, industry. So contract informations. Look at this. Contract information is about the code that which you want to generate. To what is the contract lifecycle that we want to have, and then so billing information, pricing details, calculated price, quote options. So look at this, much more options compared to our sales piece, which we have. So that's the reason like CPQ specifically deal with the configure price and present the price. So we have configured a lot of prices for each every product bundles if the same. So then even our code should be having this much of descriptive information about what we're going to present to customers. Does information have enough detail about billing or shipping? Any partners or distributors are there? Any additional text you want to have? So this all we have. But look at this quote option. Are you looking for print line items, group line items, watermark? So I mean more number of options that we can see. So print document. Actually, this guys everyone has a template format. So in what style do you want to print the PDF? See, look at this. When I compared to our PDF and to this PDF, it's again stand opportunity. I didn't do any customization onto the PDF. So recently also I was doing some customization for printing a PDF looks like somewhat in the left window. So that's a confidential type. But look at that PDF how it looks. So something we do a customization, we are doing it stuff to get the header, footer, table, all this. They have a custom templates that we have. But whereas sales was the existing one we had, it's a very flat one they have. Even there also can be customized, but we have to write a lot of code there. So if for size only one template, they have training sample. Like that, you can have a bunch of different stuff. See this A4 size they given it. So you can just change the paper size also. Okay. So anyway, cancel this. Look at this. A code has a multiple options. Of course, a code can go for an approval. Code can have to create another lead, contract, import lines indicates. Okay, so I'm a code. I will have a list of line items, and the line items I have indicates the products, and then line groups indicates the bundle. Code documents, what are the PDF that you generated? Any additional documents you want to have, or based on this code, you have generated orders so that this code is approved, and let's say these are the orders been placed. So we can have orders, any supporting documents which contractually been signed that you can upload here. So all these are the options that we have. I'm saying. So refresh price because you give some money or different types of price tags in your products and pricing bundle. So you are trying to refresh the same price in the code. So then you can do the stuff. Hmm. Always let's go to a couple of codes where they have some amount to be entered. This all looks like they don't have any price here. Okay. This has Contra CF office. Let's go to this. They have price defined. For sure, that means they will have what do you see? For the sure, this code have line items. Oh yeah. Okay, this is a good example. So how the CPQ stuff that works is, if you think very beginning, they would try to configure the products because you have to configure the products. Only then you can get to the next stage of price and then come to the code stage. So CPQ, right? So configure the products and define the price for each and then get the quotation. So that's how we call a CPQ. So first item is you have to just jump into a products and see what are the products they have and any rules they have written, how many products I can add. So all this they're defining in the products level. So let's open the products, product rules, and the price rules also will open. Now all this been done, only then we come to a code. So in code, what you do is you see a couple of line items like this, one, two, three, four. Now, the moment I added a printer, you get the printer, laser printer, and then cartridge, and then tray, letter, whatnot. So you are getting the respective printer related stuffs. So are we having any such bundle for this printer product? Let's see them. So you're giving this a product name, and then you're giving this the number of the code for the product, and then which family they are indicating it. So we are searching for a printer. Let's see. Yeah. So here, which printer they are looking for? Laser printer. So the moment I do it, so being here, so laser printer has the product family here, and then so what are the related things we have? You see these options. These options indicates I am a laser printer product, but with the moment when you add me, I can have options to add all of this. So like in Amazon, we saw the one product which you chosen. Do you want to buy this next one also? So that's something that options that you're giving it. So one such option is along with the printer. So it's you're asking them, I'll give cartridge, I'll give a paper tray, and I'll give a paper to you. So you didn't choose a high capacity tray. So if this is selected, even this also will be there part of list. Then, so you have given chosen option. Some constraints also you want to have for each and every options. For example, so the laser printer price is something like $200 everything, and then additional options that which you're giving is this accessory item. Additionally, if you want to choose printer high capacity tray, so what constraints we can have? or if you choose in these three also, so we may give a $20 discount or a $10 discount or a percentage 2% discount. So there are option constraints we can have it here. Some rules and regulations you are writing for these options. And then any configurations that you wanted to have for each and every items, you can have this attribution set here. So block price indicates, so you have defined a price for each product so that you don't have to switch between the prices. These price books are the by default they have. I think I said you like you can have a price books for the variant seasons. Let's say Christmas seasons you can have or New Year sales something is going on. So every different seasons you can have different price books because in price books we define for each product what the price should be or any additional terms of numbers that we want to define. So here these guys have chosen standard price book, something that it is out of box. I don't have any such festives. Flat price I'm giving it here. So later on in the quotation, they are trying to give a discount on this price could be. So for that actual laser printer, what is the actual cost could be? $200 is the cost. See, laser printer is the cost. So $200 is the cost that you defined it. But in actual standard price book, they are defining $275. So here itself we can see is $25, $75 is the difference. For one such product laser printer, they have this many options. So if you jump on to any of the different products, you can see, um, let's see, laptop, let's jump in. So 15-inch laptop, I'm jumping in. So if you jump in, look at this options, so much I have. Okay, let me come with the features. Option, look at these options. So which point of a gigahertz that you want to choose. So while you just moving on to the options, sorry, proceeding with the checkout. So they give an option. Do you want to choose 2.5 or 2.4, or you want a hard drive to be displayed, or you want to have 8 GB or 16 GB RAM? So all these options they give to you. Option is just something that you not to manually choose them. It's an option that you select them, and something which we get with the features. So every time you choose a laptop, you will always have these three features to choose it manually. At least one, you have to choose them. They have number of 10, but at least minimum at least you have to choose at least one options in this processor or memory storage, or else you cannot frame a laptop. Processor, memory, storage are very important in terms of laptop because you are trying to configure this products, or you're trying to choose the products what you wanted for a laptop. So that time these are all the options that you have to give to them. So the actual price has been given as student price book as 1,500, but the cost that we give is for 1,350. So like this, you can have the products can be configured. If any rules you have, so let's come to see your rules, how generally they have defined rules. Okay, so how the rules would be. Let's see. So rule name is test printer. It says active type. You can do a validation. So let's do validation condition all condition met. So where you want to define the scope. So at a product level only you want to define, or a code level you can define. It's okay. Any advanced conditions that you have. Um, Evaluation where to be spit out on save or evaluation order could be you specifying that order could be where. So order at the evaluation one. So which object that you're looking for, what type of that field you're looking for. So these are the options that we get in which particular lookup field that we have to enter this. Just a minute. Okay. So these are how we set a rule for lookups, and then we make them as some message to be displayed into the product rule. Either this rule you wanted to display in the code or you want to display on the product level. So we define this. So this condition indicates can be wanted when you want to have, let's say, um, so some price. It's like something like 1 or 2 or something like this, that we can give conditions here. So this is how we define product rules. So again, so prices, when do you want to calculate? So we saw something on the code as a refresh price, right? So something like this we have here. On the initializations of the conditions only you wanted to check the price, or on calculate or before calculate wanted the price. So this helps us in order to figure out for a prices of a particular product what could be the amount. So let's say you want to get into configurator or calculator. So two scopes we have. So configurator, in the sense at the very beginning of defining the prices, you want to distinguish there, or just while calculating you want to distinguish the price there. So let's say if I choose configurator, on where do you want, or when I say calculator, so where you want. So when this event would fire, look at this. Only when you're targeting for a quote line, that time you have to use this. For example, here have a quote lines here. So then by defining these rules, we can have this. The price rules have been defined there because you give random prices and what price actually we are entering it. So are these matching? So that time the price rules runs. So the moment the code has been created, all the products copies there. So that is something on the initially only I have to check and validate, or you're not allowed to save the record. On an edit, you're trying to stop them, or you're trying to say calculate price now display the value. Something that we do it here. So now let's say this is one example we have. So let's jump into our opportunity. So this is an acronym we have, and this is an opportunity we have. So amount is this, and expected is this. So let's say, so we are in a proposal price code stage. What if they are closed one? So that means the code that which is indicated there is when one. So the primary code, what they're talking is, so there can be as many versions of the code to be displayed there. So which one you make primary? That is the latest one, or which is active one. There could be so many number of revisions would have. So that's the reason they're saying this is a primary code. And otherwise, what is here all is the basic thing here. Do you have any contracted informations for this opportunity for this particular codes? We have so and so duration for such primary code, and any orders been created, any contract price been negotiated, or any orders created, they have some numbers. So they all will have any amendment to the contract. Let's say they have defined finally, before like $300. Now any changes of to that value, so that we can have such contracts. Any renewed contracts we have for the primary contract they have. Sorry, for this code, any contracts been have. Initially they would have contract and then declared, but which is the latest one, and any amendment happen. So all this will have informations in this code. Sorry, in this opportunity, because the opportunity is the one which have a bundles of informations about your quotations, contracts, orders, products which have been chosen, any documents associated to this quotation, and any renewal contracts, each and everything you have. So who has been connected with this opportunity? Who is the contracts that we're dealing with? And any partners been involved in this, and any change in the history that keep moving around here that has been tracked to the last. So that's such way that one of the products we see here is all these three products we see. So, four we have. Um, and what are the products that have been chosen here? That is only been added into the quote line terms. Just go see code, and the four which you saw in the products have been in the quote line terms here. It happens always. Opportunity and a products, whatever you see there. When you wanted to create a new code, so all the products value has been copied to our code line terms. So code line terms are generally products only. But the difference between them and us, we going to give discount here and change in the price. So once we say sync, so all this value would be synced to our products. And when we can say, okay, now whatever the quotations for this particular product, they have been okay, and we can print the values, and we say that opportunity is one, so that price would be added to an opportunity value. So, so this has been treated as a primary because this is the only one we have. If I try to create another one, so what I do is I simply have to clone the code. So what this clone code is indicates, it's the new versions of or the existing version, what the 3.9 we have. So we're gonna clone them. So I'm gonna save it. Don't do nothing. You just simply save it. I may have to change some values here. So that's the reason I'm just cloning it. So meaning of this is what is something that we can have as many additional codes. But cloning the code, everything is vanished. Look at this. So now what happens? Now I have this code 0047. Something wrong in this I say, and I want to move back to the older one, and I want to make them as a primary. Yes, still even option to go get there. Let's go to this opportunity. See this net amount and draft still in draft version, but the 39 one which has the some dollars there. So you feel that this is the good one, and then you go there, and you can make that also as a primary. All we want is for one particular opportunity, one code can be there. So that code to be primary, we say. You can have as many revised versions you can have. Okay. So I just made that the primary one as 3.9 as a primary. So though we have a bunch of what do you say codes have been added to our opportunities, whichever one we can have, it's always one to one. Though in relationship they can have one opportunity have multiple codes, but only one to one where I say it as only one can be a primary. So that's the meaning of this. So Kotlin, whatever you see is all the products which I said. So let's go to the Kotlin terms and modify a few things here. So let's say this guy is having lazy printer and pricing method is list. We just change the cost, and I don't have any group bundles here. Um, Search product options. I think for each product, so already we have a product options been given there, so we not have this. So the this is there's a change in here. Earlier it was showing as 275 and it's now showing 200. Let me again change that and show you. Why? Because the actual cost of that particular product is 200, but it just gives list price. This indicates the price actually for a product every time that you can define which type of price that you wanted to give them. So this is a list price. That means standard list price. It is 275. You've been seeing the product, right? Somewhere in the product we've seen. Um, Somewhere in the products we've seen for the laser printer and the in the list you've seen. So they have a price book here, 275, and they also have a cost as of $200, which is both are active. If I choose list price, then this is the one which will be getting us 275. If I choose cost price, I'll just get us $200. Now see, 275 is the one which has been defined here. Now you can define which type of a prices I wanted to give there. So for a customer flat price or some discounted price, you can have here. So pricing method list, pricing information this, any special type of price that you want to define here. So we can have, let's say, contract price, and the price description is, you can say to them as, so this you can define the later stage. What is the the price that you want to define here? Contract price is 200. So maybe they're all using the list price. So that's the reason you're getting 75. If you just change it to a cost price, then everyone will be changed to different versions of it. So whatever you've seen as a package, everything is got changed. Look at this. Initially, I know that the 75 is the list total price. Then based on the net unit, you are changing it everything to this value. Even the pro rata you wanted to have, you can change them. It all depends on us. So I can give a pro rata as 300 also. It depends on us what the price that we're gonna set for it. So once all you do is all the activity, so then we come in, and if you want to sign up a new contract for this particular code, you can do it. Now, if you preview the or generate a document, see document when you see Q hyphen the code name hyphen the timestamp, they're showing it here, and these are the products that bundle that been added here. So salesperson is this, and then his email is this, and the net amount is this. So what are things that you configure? Laser printer, toner, paper. So I've been chosen as unit price this, but extended to 120. Otherwise, everything has been added as list price. Only one thing that we got discounted is at the top. We have for the laser printer. The price has got to be 375. So it is our wish to have a list price or to put it as the price that we given as block price or a cost price. It is up to you which way that we wanted to sell through. So that is there here. So if I want to save this, it will be saved as a PDF to our code. Look at this code name, timestamp. It's code details. What is the version of this document? Because as many times you create, keep generating the documents, even the versions of this numbers also keep changing. Okay, so view record ID. So that is the one we have it. With document ID is the one we have at the bottom. So now let's go to the code, and I mark this as stage draft 2 approved. So based on the approved process, someone is verifying the code and say approved from the client. And then we go to the related opportunity. So we can have a stage where having a configurations when the stage of the particular code is getting moved from approved, so from draft to approved, automatically you can change this opportunity to closed one. But they're not having any some process builders to do this activity, so where you're trying to close it manually. So the moment we close it, so we see that the closed one 100% probability we got the amount which we actually discussed there in the quotation. So for the same products, we can have any contractual. Yes, we can have a contract been ready for this, unless and until you create a contract here. So the contract indicates. So because the deal has been signed off, now the contract has to be created. Actually, it should be auto-populated with the account name. You need not to give any values here. So this is all fine for me. So price book, actually majority were chosen list price book. So if when you are sale or any specifically a price book whole bundle if you create, you can add them here. Or else which code we are referring here? 339. Others and are simple. Okay, save this. So there are now a contract being generated for this. Ideally, a company signs a deal, you see them in the contracts. So once you see a contract has been created, so this checkbox has to be checked. So crazy. So this, I think, this is all old packages which they have. They're not intuitively working. The moment a contract has been created, we need to make sure that this particular opportunity is getting impacted. Now let me open this contract. Do they also have an opportunity to be entered there? Of course. Yeah, but why no? It's not checked the checkbox there. So maybe these rules, all custom rules that we have to write in admin. Go configure if a contract is created. Do the checkbox here in the parent record. For this parent record, you have to be checked. Oh, so this field is for assets and subscriptions. Sorry, this. When you do contract creation, that doesn't happen, but this is for asset creations and subscriptions. CPQ uses fields automatic convert. No. So when this checkbox is used, we will have assets and let me check one second. So we don't have an asset called printer. Okay. Okay. When you do a contract between the sign up guys, you have to send the deal of that particular item to one place to another place. So where the assets are located. So this is a place where the logistic people who take. This is the product ID. Okay, this is the item that we have moved from one place to another place. Are we installed or not yet? So those things is information talks about. But ideally, what I'm saying is an opportunity that which you create with the contract. So that checkbox has to be checked. So when it's checked, automatically an asset should be created for that particular area. I need to install this so and so place for so and so durations, like placing a like work order. So that way it should be. Okay, so let's quickly check one level other CPQ schema, because we have talked so many things, the whole bunch. What is the schema for the CPQ that we have to understand? So look at this, a simple one they're explaining. There would be a product with a bigger system or a bigger company, CRM company, product-based company, or ERP. All this, the surrounding would be there. But what is CPQ is doing? So they are they're having a products, they're having a codes, they're having approved items, whichever only based on the code approved, we are going to send it out, and they will be configuring the products, prices, and if any contracts are there, they will do a renewal. Any assets are there, we try to when we do an assets, when the products are asked, when the opportunity has been won, or the code they have the products which are chosen, so they have got a new contracts. When the contracts been signed up, so then you will have the assets. So all these items are important key terms of the CPQ. So that's the reason they have just pointed out a CPQ at the middle and URL is connecting to whom. So that way they negotiated where to connect it. So for example, product data model always it ties up to the products to which we are doing with. CRM deals with where when you wanted to have orders or when you want to do quotings, when you want to do renewal stuff, so we come there. Pricing and quote. where the subscription based of models working with one of the pieces here. See, pricing and subscriptions not only Salesforce uses. Salesforce out of Salesforce also you can choose some third party, and you can have the subscription plans. When you do ERP, so ERP is for what when you deal with the assets from this location to that location have to move. So are the products are available on right time? What I have to do with them? So based on that, the ERP model will help out. So whereas a partner, I would look at the overall architecture or my CPQ type of a business has been running well. So they will see here. So otherwise, you see, basically they see simply say configure, price, and code. Architectural wise, if you understand, of course, um, these are things we'll have always. The highlighted ones are code, code item, product, code, subscription, assets. So this is what they would talk with. To whom all they connected, they would be having this links here. Look at this. For steel bricks of activities, also you look at this. So they have assets, subscription, contract and pricing, orders, invoices, contracts, opportunity products, quotes, quote items, products. This is how they deal with it. Okay, now every time you see the products, they have attributes, features, options, prices, and costs. So now you see what are these individually. So they are trying to define the product how it is, what type of price it is. It's a list price, okay. But then what the final cost I have to give it, so that it is. What are the different options I have this is. Now for this product features, it's the same product only, but I have a different features for it. If you say simply laptop, what I should say it's a laptop 15 inch. You should say that memory and yes, it consists of the RAM. It consists of the processing CPU speed. All these will have as features. If you talk about the phone also, you'll say that it's a 64 megapixel and then have 10 GB RAM. So all that is a feature of the particular product. Right? So that is what defined here. So attribute defines this product A category of having these XYZ items. So they are defining some attributes associated to our products. These all the products have been tied up to a quote items because quote items generally have the products only, and those are defined in the quotes. So this we present to our customers. They're okay. So then the deal is sign off, and then we won the opportunity and have a contract cycle signed up. So then thereafter the assets life cycle follows for the ERP systems. Any questions, guys? Here,
No, good.
this is a high level view, guys. But still, if you want to just go on each pipe in and then just check how it works, add a record and say test it on. So already I said two ways we have. So one is having the installations of these like CPQ admin we have, right? So trailer. So go with that and then have your demo or trail org, play with that. So where I've used an MCD here, where I'm just two things also I've updated. One is trail org we created for CPQ. The same CPQ stuff we also had it for the McDonald's where we try to install a package. Even that also worked out. But the problem, what I was having, I didn't have any data here for my when I installed my MCD org to have data because this existing or specifically for CPQ, so they have dummy data. So it'll be easy for us to understand more onto this. So have this org, trail org, and play with your trailer so that you will understand more about it. So whatever the concepts I tried to cover, so you will get to know the next things easy when you see a videos and do hands-on challenge there. Eventually it'll add a what to say trailer points to you, but again it is helpful to cover up a trailer. So when I say someone that you know about CPQs, of course you should have completed the trailers of CPQ. So where you will have more confidence to answer on CPQ side. So why we bought this CPQs, even Murthy requested to have this. Uh, Not only here, the advanced course like CPQ want to have. I thought of having the Einstein Analytics also, and Einstein Analytics would have um, something like chatbots or prediction builder, something will have. So there are the very new concepts which is there in Salesforce. We have to go adopt them. How to adopt this trail it is the only way to go and adopt them and do a trail like how we do as a CPQ here. So they also will give some a trail playground. In the playground, you can play with the instant builders or chatbots. So do experiment it because when you want to get into a new project or a new company, the expectations of Salesforce research now today is very high. Um, let's say you are saying like 5 years experience. We expect that out of 5 years experience, what are the things that you will have it? So what we expect. So you think that okay, you know LWC, okay, you know Aura, you know VF. So this is one category of people where ask the other set of people ask you what are the areas that you're interested with, what are the industry knowledge that you have. So what are the Salesforce clouds that been you at least you have visited, and what are the pieces that you have worked majority on it. So these are other set of people asking into questions. So likely it should have a technical plus a functional, and how the combination of both it works. So we should be ready with that. So like that one particular things which we picked up is CPQ. CPQ itself is a separate model, but we wanted to just get them in advanced course and see how it works, and so others also would be here would be benefited. Apart from this, we have something called as communities, which I want to say from long time. So the community clause is now been changed to named as Experience Cloud. So community cloud is been now renamed to an Experience Cloud. So anywhere if you see community cloud, so it's not no more a experience no community cloud. It's been turned to be Experience Cloud. So what this indicates? It indicates like you have a portals, right? Generally, people have a portals. For example, like McDonald's, I am a customer. I wanted to book the a pizza or a burger, whatever which I wanted. So I just where I go, I have to have a login to find myself, and I choose the location as nearest my location where I put up in Bangalore. If I say the nearest location for me to my address, some location should be there. So here if you reside near to the Kukatpalli, so it shows me nearest Kukatpalli as a restaurant. So understanding and then so it should tell me what are the products available there. To view this, we don't show a Salesforce UI to the people. So we don't show this UI to the customers. So we'll have our own community portals to display the stuff. Customer community portal or customer experience cloud portal. So look at this. Who are customer community? So if you see some images, you will see nice portals where people are using it already. So we'll have sales service like where sometimes you bought a laptop, you want to register with ourselves and then say what is the laptop warranty, what is the duration we have. Something issue the laptop, you raise the concern and contacts, cases. So this also could be a self-service portal where we allow you to register for us, for our product, and then you are trying to manage tickets and services with us. So that's something self-service portal because always people cannot call and register for a ticket. People are trying to minimize the task that we get for us. I need to handle it within one or two people's. The whole service should be handled by one or two people's. So that's the reason they have intelligent chatbots. Chatbot will take a few questions because people generally ask very few questions. Tell me the status about my ticket. Give me the product number. Or what is the price? And when it will deliver? Can I do a cancellation? A frequent questions been turned out to be a chatbot where our system, like AI system, will answer back to you. Yes, what is the details that you want maximum? Out of that, if you cannot answer it properly, so then we ask route to back to our agent so they can answer your questions. So the majority thing is that people are trying to diversify directly connecting with the people. So rather they want to have a chatbots, live agents, or FAQs, articles you present there. So people have to find themselves an answers. So that way we say it as self-service portals. Generally, they have been built onto the customer communities only or experience clouds only. So for this, what type of knowledge you have? Yes, of course, LWC you will have, and a few CSS styling, SLDS. Any themes that you want to select, okay, you have your own themes to select. Like sales. So this is out of box exam actually on the top what you see. So this is also out of box themes. So this is also out of box themes. So you can have different versions of themes also you can have, or else you have a knowledge of CSS where the company provides you the nice UI look and feel. Then you have to be familiar with what HTML code they've written, what CSS they code written. You have to utilize them, and then you have to manipulate the portal like how general website building happens. The same way it should be done. So to whom this is useful? This is absolutely for customers, absolutely for partners. So partners also can log in. Why we say partner to be login? Because they will see what are the parts available for us. So they are the guys are middlemen. For example, you buy a car and then you are a customer, and the distributor is basically a partners, and they are tied up with the company. So me directly connecting to a company is not possible. So me connecting to a distributor is possible because I ask him because I give service my car to there, and this guy will tell me a few informations about this part is available or not available, and yes, you have to order for it. So the middle guy, he is the one who does it. For him, a login should be there. So that login is partner portal login. For me, I'm directly connecting with my customer to the company owners, like say Toyota, if you say. So then I am the then I'm logging. My login is whatever I do is a customer community portal login. So two types of logins we have. One is customer community login. I say you are directly connected with the company where you're raising a ticket to ourselves. Then the partners are being directly connected to sorry, to the company. So they are doing a B2B activity. So they are exchanging their parts, all the stuff they are doing it. So they are not connecting with the customers. They are trying to connect with the company. So we are example of customers are good example of B2C. So the partners are example good of examples of B2B because they eventually both earn the amount, but where we spend the amount, so we become to the B2C side. So customer portal is one of the other important things we have to learn about. Otherwise, Salesforce, if you see, so good values on to the Einstein Analytics, Einstein Cloud. So newly they have called as Einstein Vision also came in. So this would indicates about reading a document. Document. How do I read it? So let's say people are submitting the document and they say that this is a valid document. Now people we have to do manually check them and then say valid KYC. We do it. So if the system does for it, it will be more easy. So Salesforce does the research on this. They have done sentiment analysis and they got document review and deep learning they did it. So now they are able to read the document, something like OCR. I think you have heard about OCR. It's just trying to do read through the content, whatever you've been written. Is it valid or not? And out of the process document, they say that is this is valid or not. So basically, we are trying to read your document or read your image or image processing or any content that you're going to give it. We will try to read through the content. Yes, it is valid or not. And then we say that yes, this is a valid document. Maybe at a future state, we say that the KYC is valid by this process. So Einstein Vision is one of the new things which has been in the market. So will be very good to work on it. Otherwise, the Einstein prediction builders we have. So these prediction builders are helping out people say what is next in your process. You're doing a sales activity. You are having this ABC to be defined. So you are in maybe a prospect stage, but you have more number of information about the customers. So we say that if you have these many items and they are referring back to you, so then you can get into the next stage of their sales cycle. So they easily predict, Einstein will easily predict you what is their next best action should be chosen. So the customer is having this ABC and this they have it. So that's a good about Einstein prediction builders. See, Einstein next best actions also they would have defined in the predictions. All this uses AI strategy and deep learning and natural language processing. So it makes you best. And the Einstein chatbot also is the same stuff. So for everything you have a chatbot, for everything you have a trailers, I mean to say. So this again natural language understandings and processing. So I said like you give a text and I understand. So what is the next prediction questions you ask and then I answer to it. So based on all this, we give a right information to you. So these are the few niche skills that we have to learn because you guys have come till advanced and few other things that if you heard about the science and chatbot vision and CPQs and community clouds. So this ought to be a plus for your CV. So that is what I want to make sure. You can boldly put your content into your what do you say in your CV after completing the trailers. At least for the learner or beginner knowledge I have in this. So your CV would be really valued for it because any project which is currently going on is not people are talking like sales and service do a project in that. So they're asking, I want a sales plus this Einstein Analytics and Einstein Cloud to be implemented. I want a service cloud plus sales and Einstein Cloud to be installed. I mean, work with that. Sales plus CPQ and then other Einstein stuff. So sales, service plus I want communities to be implemented. So there's always a combinations of multiple. So be careful and read through the basic content of this as well. So for our advanced we covered. Maybe we covered logistically how to upload the code, how to deal with the code, how to present it. Otherwise, we have to see operational and functional things also, how this basic works. That will help you out to do in future set for an architecting stuff. How concept one to one we can connect. We also did an integration. We didn't use any middlewares in the between. We tried to connect one to one. This is also plus. When people like MuleSoft they come in picture or any other middlewares they come, so they give just request and response to you. So you have to use them and then you can deal with them. That's easy process. But We went on hit to some other third-party direct URL and we got the results and we processed and displayed the result. So this additional challenge we did it because we don't have any middleware to work in middle like other MuleSoft or Orca something we have. Okay, I think majority of the admin concepts or advanced concepts which you have covered. So what is the pending thing from me? If you see all these videos I have to upload, and the second thing if you see, um, there's a test coverage 3, which is advanced test coverage. I have to do it. So that one video is pending, and putting all this LWC stuff as being one complex component. I wanted to make it so that always that you guys can go see that okay, event propagation how it happens, how a component to component is getting connected, how the all the decorators are used well, like API track, wires. So all these multiple combinations of one component, I wanted to make a video and then send it out. So that has to really be a workful concepts. It will be on a contact or a simple account. You can copy the paste code and then you can try to deploy and then check it out. Such one I wanted to build. So two things running from me is one is on the test coverage and then one is on to the complex LWC component. Why I'm focusing on LWC is that is a feature which we have. Maybe other things which you learned is okay, but LWC would be there. So I want to have few cover the advanced concepts even in there also, like dispatch event or registering events, or the propagations or promise. So I want to use them much and then I want to present there. So there's two things. Otherwise, uploading all these videos and then you have a Google Notes be ready there. So this is all we have. So any questions you have?
So the Google Notes is the one you uploaded. I can download from there, right?
Yeah. So this whole notes, whatever we did, we have a Google Notes for this.
Okay, the link you forwarded long back.
Yeah. So I'll again copy this into our what is it, web chat, WhatsApp.
Uh, you sent a mail, right? No, you didn't send a mail.
I'm just putting into chat also.
Okay. Think I forwarded that.
So there was any questions you guys have?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So in future, like regarding your CVs or you have any questions, so you can always get back to me. That is all about preparing your what is it, to the next level. When you wanted to jump into a dev type of an activity, you required your CV to be very strong. And also the CV you yourself, whatever you present to others, has to be gone through by yourself. So each and every concept that whatever we define there, are we able to answer that? How do you test it? So put a topic directly tailored or Google. So whatever they say, see that okay, this ABC has been matching. I know at least about this how to answer it. Then if you are known about that, okay, you know about the what you are trying to Google search also. Try to see some scenario based questions so that again will help you out more. Sometime back, I was doing a project scenario here. So explain your deep experience in LWC or Apex or LWC. So look at this simple use case. So which are written. Maybe this is used for one of our training match. So build a component based on the customer address and locate the nearest nearby warehouse within the radius of 1 to 25 kilometers. Skills applied to build this component. So Lightning Web Component for the UI design. LWC JavaScript handler to use the Apex controller and display the results based on the search made. And Apex controller supplies the required results to the LWC component. I think this we have did it. So this is something about a scenario we're trying to explain where you have used an Apex or LWC stuff. So use case two. So you want to track the content from source to destinations. You have a like say warehouse and vehicle tracking system. So in that area, how do you do it? So you give a source and you give a destination. So the products which is picked and it should go to the destination, we need to have some middleman to check all this where they have stamped in or where there's no QR code has been referred. So that way again we have need to have design and then so we have to query and display the QR barcode wherever it has been have. So where the check-in basically happens, so we can have that. And then our API controller would suffice the which will recent records of your history I should to show you in timeline. So generally, if you book a product in Amazon also, so you will see that where it is currently tracking your order. So it says it's still in the warehouse. It says nearby your store or near to the location. and it's ready for delivery or ready for dispatch. So this type of timeline of delivery we have it, right? So those giving an idea, this is a use case. For checking the locations of GPIs where you are based on the barcodes, we have REST locations to do make a call it and then save the results. So subcomponents when you have a timeline activity to check the shipment product. So like this, some use cases we can have. You write and know that you have an experience or like say Apex or LWC. So we have to be ready to answer the scenario based the where we have used it. What are the competencies? What are the skills we applied it? So this also would be helpful to you. So this I'm again adding to some how do you build use case scenarios. So like this, if I practice with use case based learnings, it will be helpful to you. Or you can ask me if any, I didn't understand this. Can you give me some one or two use cases on this? I'll provide the use case, which will surely help you out. Either developing that by your own, or you try to present for yourself to some interviews. Fine, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So the latest notes, whatever I have been added, this 20 lines. I'll update to that Google Sheet. Otherwise, we are good. So keep in touch. This will be the last class for us.
Sure.
Okay. So thank
Yeah.
you, Kumar. Thank you,
Thanks, Raj.
Murthy, for all the support and listening to the classes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.